Lakiji is looking completely gassed. It's a nail-biting match against dreadlocks over here. And our guy is fading fast. Suddenly, he lunges forward and throws a lightning-fast double jab, then a hard shot to the body. The dreadlock fighter throws a massive blow, but Ku is able to duck and counter, but he misses. Now it's Dreadlock's turn. Ku is completely rocked by that shot. Before he can even think, a 1-2 combo smashes in his face, and finally, soul-crushing punch lands right on Ku's jaw. He gets sent flying, literally spinning through the air. He lands with a heavy thud. The crowd roars. Lee Kyu is down. His coach, the bald guy, is absolutely furious. Ku just lies there, bruised and battered, gasping for air. He glances over to the stands, and a woman looks on, worried, sick. As the ref rushes over, Kiju's mind starts to wander. He thinks to himself, why am I lying here? He closes his eyes, trying to remember how this all started. Ah, yes, this was the exact moment a young woman's voice calls out his name. She's returning his phone to him. This is yours, right? The totally flustered Kiju stammers. Thanks. As he takes it, she said she just found it while she was cleaning. He remembers this bus stop. So many wonderful memories. Because back then he was nothing more than a toy for the school bullies. He was their personal errand boy. The bullies just mock him, calling him a useful little gopher. If they hit him, he just had to stand there and take it. He'd be on the ground, humiliated and drooling, completely unable to fight back. Then one day, crumpled on the ground in pain, Kiju had a shocking realization. He was a loser because he did not have a girlfriend. And conversely, no one who had a girlfriend ever gets called a loser. My man's logic is flawless. So that day, he made up his mind. At his new school, the very first thing he's going to do is get a girlfriend. Okay, back to the present. He's wondering if this is his big chance to finally stop being a loser. The pretty girl with short brown hair waves goodbye, saying she's heading out. Ku panics and shouts for her to wait. She turns around looking a little surprised. He immediately gets super flustered, having no idea what to say next. Smooth. She asks if he's got something to say, and he just completely freezes up. She's getting impatient, telling him she's leaving if he has nothing to say. He takes a deep breath and steels himself for what's next. Finally, he musters up all his courage and yells, "Go out with me." But at that exact moment, a huge bus drives by, completely drowning him out. He can't believe he actually did it. He managed to confess, but the girl just says, "Sorry, it was too noisy. I couldn't hear." His heart just sinks of all the times for a bus to drive by. He starts panicking, grabbing his hair and wondering what to do now. As she prepares to leave again, he desperately shouts for her to wait. He chases her across the street, determined not to let this opportunity escape. Suddenly, the girl stops. She looks annoyed. "Hey, what's your problem? Why do you keep following me?" He stammers for a second, then tries to play it cool with a smile. "Will you go out with me?" She just stares at him, completely silent for a moment. He's so embarrassed he can feel his face turning beet red. But then the girl crosses her arms and squares up to him. She wins back and throws a punch right at his face. Boom! The punch connects. I guess that's a no-kiddie, my dude. Before he can recover, she drives her other fist into his stomach, but it's a fake. He's completely stunned, unable to even process what just happened, and she just casually flicks him on the forehead. "Sorry," she says coldly, "but I really hate weaklings like you." As she walks away, he tries to call out to her again, completely bewildered. Then he notices where she's going, a boxing gym. She calls out, "Dad," and an older, heavy-set man comes out to greet her. Plot twist. She tells him she's heading up, and he tells her to make sure she warms up properly. The man lights a cigarette, and his eyes land on the bruised and confused Kiju across the street. He looks thoughtful, like he sees some kind of potential in our boy. He remembers how he blocked the solid punch his daughter landed. He shuffles down the stairs and makes his way towards Kiju. Kiju starts to panic, stammering that he didn't mean to do anything with his daughter. The man suddenly grabs his shoulder, and Ku just gasps. Then he asks a question Ku never saw coming. "Would you like to try becoming a boxer?" Ku is completely floored by the offer. He just stares back in disbelief. And just like that, an unexpected journey begins. What a wild origin story. A few days later, the girl still in school uniform enters the gym greeting her dad. He asks why she's not studying, and she says she felt stiff and needed to work out. Ku is also at the gym. He took the man up on his offer, though at the moment he seems a little distracted. Yeah, he claims he loved boxing, but we all know what's up. He swears he's taking it seriously, but the drool and the blush tell a very different story. Watching her train, he declares boxing the greatest sport of his life. Sure, buddy, the greatest sport. But hey, despite his questionable reasons, Kiju is actually putting in the work, throwing sharp jabs. The girl asks her dad what he thinks of Kiju's progress so far. With a thoughtful look, the coach says, if things stay the same, it would be perfect. We see an important day is marked on the calendar. Wonder what that's about. One day in school, The classroom door slams open and a group of delinquents struts in, making the whole room go silent. The leader smirks, announcing their slogan, "Pay your dues," in school violence. His buddy thinks it's a killer line. While another student just decides to pay up, the girl from the gym mutters insults under her breath. The bully's head snaps toward her. Huh? So, what did you just say? Salmon doesn't even flinch, coolly asking if he's feeling a little guilty about something. Enraged, he raises his hand to hit her, but she just stares him down. What? You gonna hit me? He stops, a nasty smirk spreading across his face. How could I hit a girl? He leans in, taunting her about living with her disabled father and telling her to stop throwing tantrums. Salmon's hand clenches into a tight, white-knuckled fist on her desk. Noticing her diet milk, he sneers. Or maybe it's just because you're on a diet. Feeling a little edgy, he picks up the carton. Then, as a friend, I should help you out. With a cruel grin, he pours the entire carton of milk right over her head. She gasps in shock as his friends all start laughing. The rest of the class can only watch in horrified silence, too scared to do anything. Salman is drenched and humiliated. She slams her hands on her desk, about to explode in anger. Suddenly, a firm voice cuts through the tension. Stop it. Everyone turns to see Ku standing tall, confronting the entire group of bullies. Someone looks up in total disbelief. The bully turns to face his new target. Did you just mouth off to me? Ku's expression is dead serious. He didn't want to fight, but he can't just stand by and watch this. He remembers how she called him a weakling, and he knows exactly what he has to do. He gives a confident wink to a very confused Salmon. Don't worry too much. I'll go easy. Salmon is completely baffled by his sudden personality change. And frankly, so am I. The bully completely loses it and throws a wild punch, yelling, You should answer, you jerk. Ku thinks the move is way too big. He throws his own punch. It's only a feint, but it's enough to catch the bully off guard. 1, he counts calmly. The bully is completely dazed, trying to figure out what his deal is. Without missing a beat, Kiju pivots and unleashes another powerful strike. 2, the punch connects with the locker, creating a huge dent and a deafening crash. The bully stumbles back, his face a perfect mask of pure, unadulterated terror. But Kijiju's cool facade immediately breaks as he cries out, Ow, that hurts. He instantly regrets it, thinking, that was a bad punch. Did I just wreck my fist? Yep, you sure did, buddy. As Salmon watches, she is not impressed at all. Ugh, what an idiot. I'll talk. The other students, however, are starting to whisper, Hey, is the new kid actually tough? The whispers grow louder as they gawk at the destroyed locker. I thought Count's head exploded. The classroom is buzzing. Everyone's wondering if Kiju is secretly strong as they back away from the scene. Meanwhile, Ku is having an internal meltdown. He's only been boxing for 3 months. His hand is literally stuck in the dented locker, and the pain is excruciating. He tries to save face, mustering a glare at Kung, telling himself to keep it together. Tae, completely spooked, makes a ridiculous excuse about his grandpa's memorial to get out of there. His friends drag him out the door, seemingly calling him out for the terrible lie. As he leaves, Kung thinks to himself, Wow, I almost ended up on my own memorial table. Good one, dude. Back in the classroom, everyone stares at Kiju, whose fist is still stuck. Crap, he's crazy strong, one mutters. Kiju grits his teeth, trying to hold on. Salmon's still watching. Gotta keep it cool. Bro is fighting for his life and his re at the same time. He finally yanks his hand free and turns to the class with a shaky smile. Let's all be friends, okay? The story of what happened spreads like wildfire through the school's group chats. Rumors start flying that he was the top dog at his old school, that he's a boxer. From the cafeteria to the sports field, everyone is talking about the new kid. As Kiju walks down the hall, everyone notices him. The entire mood has changed. The way people look at him now, it's totally different. He's a legend. The sea of students parts for him. He soaks it all in, a confident smile spreading across his face. Just then he spots his target, Hyo Sin, laughing with a friend. He immediately takes off after her, calling out her name. As he basks in the glory, the rumors escalate. Now people are saying he's a pro boxer. The reality, however, is a little bit different. Our boy is at the hospital getting a partial cast. The doctor says he can go to school, but Ku is bummed he has to take a break for boxing. He wraps the cast, regretting his sloppy punch. He realizes he got too tense trying to hit someone. His muscles stiffened, his balance went off, and his aim was completely thrown. Classic rookie mistake. He wonders if fighting for real is always this hard. Maybe it's finally time he tried sparring. But walking towards the gym, he second-guesses himself, thinking it might be too soon. He arrives at Wooing Boxing Gym and tells his coach he needs to take a month off. And director Hyo completely explodes. Do you not get how important this time is? Ku is totally confused by his coach's intense reaction. He's acting like Ku insulted his entire family tree. What's his problem? Turns out the coach is panicking about the gym's rent and loans being due soon. So he quickly changes his tune, telling Kiju, "You would be a waste of talent to stop now." Classic manipulation. Ku just sadly holds up his bandaged hand. "Checkmate, coach." The coach looks defeated, but then Salmon chimes in from the side. He is not Thomas Burns or anything. She scoffs. Not like he can suddenly do a flicker jab. The strange names catch Ku's attention. Thomas Burns. Flicker jab. And suddenly a light bulb goes off in his simple little mind. The coach's face lights up. Yeah, that is it. Time to show them your left hand is not just for show. He's talking about the legendary boxer Thomas Burns, a champion whose greatest weapon was his right straight. The flicker jab. Ryder, you're setting up a training arc, are you not? With a firm grasp, the coach gets fired up. Honestly, I have always seen a bit of Thomas Burns in you. He stares intensely at Kiju. Starting today, he's going to make Kiju's left jab a deadly weapon. The coach's eyes burn with intensity. He can already see people getting knocked out by Ku's left. The idea sinks in for Kiju. A flicker jab. This could be it. A spark of hope lights up within him. So there's more than one way to get strong in boxing. He clenches his fist, making a decision. I will give a shot. And with that, Kiju begins a hardcore training regimen to power up his left jab. He toughens his knuckles by punching a tree until the bark splinters. A classic move. He even stands under a waterfall, practicing his jab against the rushing water. Artist, what movie is this from? Back at the gym, the coach catches him hitting a stack of tires. No one told him to do that yet, but it gets worse. Kiju prepares to plunge his hand into a pot of boiling water. The coach freaks out, screaming, "Are you crazy? What are you even doing?" The coach watches him train, deep in thought. He has been running this gym for over 20 years. And in that time, he has met tons of trainees, so he knows what he's looking at. But this kid, he is a first. A kid who is totally untalented. Ouch. Despite his lack of natural talent, Kiju trains with a goofy, pained grin, giving it his all. Still, the coach thinks for now, Kiju is his precious cash cow. Gotta pay those bills. Smiling, he gives Kiju a thumbs up. While his passion is real, at least. The next day at school, Ku maintains his tough guy image, remembering his own rule. A beast never shows its weakness. He looks down at his bandaged hand, a reminder of his own stupidity. To keep up appearances, he shoves his hands into his pockets to hide the bandages. Meanwhile, in an alley near the school, Kei's friends are teasing him. One of them smirks, cigarette in hand. He says, "Hey Kung, be honest. You freaked out yesterday, right?" Kung, with his very distinctive blonde bowl cut, glares back in annoyance. His friend just laughs it off, saying, "Your grandpa's alive, dude. What a jerk." This seems to be the last straw for King. He fires back. "You think you were so tough now?" He violently grabs his friend by the collar, asking him, "Have you grown up a lot?" Another member of the group steps in to break it up. "Hey, chill out, guys. Come on, relax," he says. The friend pushes Kim Tae back, annoyed. "He got scared, but blames me for it." The other whines. In his frustration, Kung kicks a nearby soda can into orbit. "Crap. Because of that jerk," he mutters, fuming about Kiju. His face is so red. He's one breath away from self-combustion. The two guys start whispering amongst themselves. "But yesterday was kind of a fluke, was it not?" The other says, "That is what I am saying. He just punched wrong. That is all." Then the bigger guy replies with no one's actually seen him fight for real. He tries to quiet the other dude, muttering, "Hey, let us stop. Come will hear us." But it's a little too late for that. Kim K grits his teeth, the muscles in his jaw twitching with absolute rage. He explodes, turning on them, screaming, "You punks want me to show you?" His friends are taken aback. "What? Show us what they ask." "You think I'm scared?" Kim K says menacingly as he pulls out a box cutter. He stalks forward, blade in hand. His friends can't believe it. Is he seriously about to stab someone? One of them turns to the other, worried, saying, "Wang Yu, I think, has really lost it. Should we not stop him?" But Cho Wang Yu, the actual top dog, just smiles while petting a cat. "Leave it. This is fun." Determined to prove he's not scared, Kung marches back into the school. He throws open the classroom door with a loud bang, holding the box cutter for everyone to see. Hai Saman, sitting at her desk, sigh in annoyance. Geez, does he not ever get tired of this? Kim's eyes lock onto his target, who's sitting calmly by the window. "Lou, you see, artist, you really went all out with the crazy eyes here." He tightens his grip on the blade, ready to do something incredibly stupid. "I will kill you," he screams, leaping over the desks towards Kiju. The entire class watches in absolute horror. This is really happening. Kung lunges forward, the blade about to hit. He's running entirely on spite and bad decisions. Ku is just listening to music at his desk, completely unaware of what's about to happen. Bro's in his own music video while the plot loads. As KQ is about to stab Ku, the big guy steps up. In a flash, he grabs Kung's shirt, yanking the blade out of his grasp. Suddenly, their friendship status is it's complicated. Everyone else is just trying to become one with their desks, hoping they don't exist. Then, in a move that no one saw coming, the box cutter plunges deep into Ku's arm. The two stooges are sweating bullets, realizing Ki messed with the wrong music lover. Ku is just sitting there like he just ordered a coffee with a box cutter chilling in his arm. And without even flinching, he just pulls the blade out like it's a splinter. His classmates are losing their minds. Though, he didn't even blink. They're in complete awe, wondering why he's not even bleeding. Why might be a Terminator? Ku gets to his feet, and suddenly the room temperature drops about 20 degrees. Everyone is completely paralyzed with fear. He starts walking towards them, and every single footstep echoes in the dead silent classroom. Salman, being the voice of reason, for once yells out that he's about to commit a crime. He's aiming at Kung. The bully prepares for impact like a man who knows he messed up. But we have a plot twist. Hun shields himself as Ku just holds it out and says, "Hear this." He offers the weapon back with a grin, asking, "Is it yours?" Kung couldn't believe it. The big guy sweats, grinning, "We're really sorry. We were just messing around." Kiju just gives him this super pleasant smile. "I see. Be more careful next time." Totally normal interaction. Sman breathes a huge sigh of relief. Phew, her dad's meal ticket is safe for another day. But what the guy saw wasn't a friendly smile. Oh no. They saw the face of an absolute demon. "Artist, you went hard on this panel. After school lets out, Kiju is just strolling through the now empty hallways like nothing happened. He stops in front of the school bulletin board, his eyes locking onto a single flyer. He thinks to himself, "Is this it? The match the director mentioned?" A determined smile spreads across his face. Yes, this is it. Yep, this is his ticket to the big leagues. And immediately he's daydreaming about hoisting a championship belt as the crowd roars his name. Bro's already doing the victory speech in his head. He's completely convinced this is the only way to get the respect he deserves. Sure, buddy. His grand illusions of fame are suddenly interrupted by a faint meow. Thinking it must be a stray, he immediately scoops up the cute little cat for a cuddle. Suddenly, a voice calls out, "Spring, come here." It's another student, Chi Wangyu. Kijiju realizes, it has an owner. The cat, hearing its master's voice, lets out a fierce hiss and leaps out of his grasp. It scampers away as Kiju apologizes awkwardly. "Sorry, I missed it." Wanga just smiles. "It's okay. The butterfly will come to my hand anyway." Ku is confused. "Huh, didn't you call it spring?" Then Ku notices that Wangyu is also staring at the boxing poster with his super sly grin. Without any warning, Wangyu grabs Kiju and LT, Unk and GT's hand, his intense smile making Ku sweat. He gives Kiju and LT, Unk and GT's hand a little pat before turning and walking away. So weird. As Wangyu leaves, he thinks, "My heart's pounding for once." Meanwhile, Ku is just baffled. Am I already getting cheered on? Later at the gym, Coach Hayo is having a full-blown aneurysm. "What? Are you out of your mind? You want to enter the sports boxing championship?" Kiju looks him dead in the eye, full of unearned confidence. "Yes, director, I'm going to enter and win." The coach's face just crumples in pure horror as slumps on his chair. Coach Ho is having a meltdown. He thinks Kiju has a classic case of what he calls 3-month overconfidence syndrome. He's terrified Kiju will get destroyed, quit boxing, and then he won't be able to make his rent payments. Trying to reason with him, the coach points out, "You're still injured. This match is way too much for you right now." But Ku is confident. "Director, have you forgotten?" He clenches his fist. "Don't I have Thomas Burns' flicker jab?" With a dazzling smile, he adds, "The cast comes off in 2 weeks." Coach Hayo slams his hands on the desk again, absolutely losing his mind. Kiju just looks back, completely unfazed by the screaming. What? Realizing yelling won't work, the coach tries a new tactic. You're not meant to play in such small waters. He starts pacing, getting animated. Would it be fair if Ronaldo played in a youth soccer club? We're sportsmen. We have to maintain sportsmanship. And Kiju, the genius, actually starts considering it. Now that you mention it, that makes sense. The coach leans in, sensing victory, right? A high schooler can't get involved in elementary fights, right? Ku's expression turns serious again, but he grins sheepishly, scratching his head. Still, every journey starts with a single step. I'll humbly start with recreational boxing. The coach gets hit with a metaphorical lightning bolt. His entire plan is completely shattered. He knows this is a disaster. With Ku's talent, a first-round KO is obvious. He lets out a long, defeated sigh. There's just no convincing this kid. He steels himself. A new plan forming. No choice. I'll just have to let him try. He locks his fingers together, declaring, "If that's really what you want, we start hardcore training from today." Ku just gives a confident thumbs up. Yes, director. He has no idea what he just signed up for. The coach's first order is insane. Start with 30,000 jump ropes right now. 4 weeks later, the gym door swings open. 2 men walk in. The older one calls out, Director, I'm here. Kiju, sweating buckets from his workout, turns around. Who is it? The man introduces himself as the director of the boxing gym next door. He asks if Director Hayo is in. Kiju flashes a friendly, sweaty smile, saying, he stepped out for a bit of business. The visiting director looks annoyed. Oh no, I should have called first. He explains that the younger guy with him is also entering the tournament, and he came to get him some sparring experience. The director looks around the empty gym. HM, but the director's not here, and there's no one else around. He turns to Kiju. If it's okay, would you like to give it a try? You're the only one here anyway. Ku's eye widens in shock. Sparring. The word hits him harder than any punch will. He's completely caught off guard. His first sparring match out of nowhere, but then his main character energy kicks in. This is the perfect test run before the real match. The bell rings and the match officially begins. The two fighters circle each other, their shoes squeaking on the mat. Ku's heart is pounding in his chest. He tells himself to stay calm and not get too excited. He tries to rationalize it. The other guy isn't a pro either. He's just a regular person, same as him. He repeats to himself over and over. Don't be scared. They prepare to charge at each other, both vibrating with pure, unnecessary intensity. Ku's eyes widen. Here he comes. A fist slams into Ku's headgear. He reminds himself not to drop his guard. He's shocked by the attack. A rear hand. His opponent throws another powerful punch, aiming to end it quick, but Ku's training finally kicks in. Duck. He drops down low, the punch sailing right over his head. Vo. He can't believe it. He actually used ducking in a real fight. It worked. The visiting director watches from the side, looking pretty intrigued by this. Ku sees his chance. Great. An opening, but something's wrong, huh? Before he can land his punch, a counter hits him square in the face. The force of the blow sends him stumbling back across the ring. The other director shouts encouragement to his fighter. That's it. Good. Keep pushing forward. Kiju regains his composure. He got hit, and man, was it faster than he expected. His opponent rushes in again, closing the distance in an instant. Kijiju raises his guard just in time to block a flurry of incoming punches. He's completely on the defensive, getting battered and unable to find any room to breathe. An image of director Hayo flashes in his mind. Kiju is frantically thinking to himself, Ugh, I can't see an opening. The coach's voice echoes in his head. When does your opponent show an opening? Whether pulling back a thrown punch. At that exact moment, if I throw my punch simultaneously, it's easy to exploit the gap. Back in the present, his opponent pulls back his fist. Ku's eyes gleam with understanding. Now he throws a jab, aiming perfectly for the opening. It connects. A perfect clean hit. He did it. His jab actually landed. With the opening created, it's time for his ultimate finishing move. Flicker jab. A rapid series of punches rains down on his opponent's head. The visiting director watches, impressed. It's just an imitation, but it is incredibly fast. But the other boxer weathers the storm, managing to block the flurry of blows. Kiju's eyes widen in horror. He sees it coming. Here comes the counter. The spiky-haired boxer's eyes are filled with intense focus as he prepares his own attack. No way. He's throwing a punch at the exact same time. Their fists fly toward each other. A double counter in the making. This is going to hurt. A black glove smashes into Ku's cheek, while Ku's red glove slams right into his opponent's jaw. The impact sends the spiky-haired boxer reeling back with a pain grunt. Vo! Another solid hit. Is he secretly the reincarnation of Thomas Burns? But hold on, his opponent is still standing. All that effort, all that brutal, mind-numbing training, it's finally paying off. A thought hits him like a jab. This sparring match, I can actually win this. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the city, Director Hayo stands outside a bank and lets out a huge sigh of relief. Looks like he just dodged financial ruin. And hey, he remembers his buddy's boxing gym is right around the corner. His primary motivation, you guessed it, free coffee. This guy knows how to live. He strolls into the gym and wow, the place is absolutely packed with people training. He's got to wonder what their secret is. This gym is always buzzing with new members. One of the boxers spots him. Director Hia, what are you doing here? The director greets the kid, John Ho, and asks if his friend, the gym's director, is around. Turns out the director took one of his own members over to a place called Young Boxing Gym for a little sparring session. Wait a minute. Director Ho freezes to our gym. He didn't even call me. And then a horrifying thought hits him. There's only one person at his gym right now. Our boy Ku. My man bolts out of there like his life depends on it. Absolutely screaming his head off. Cut back to Young Jim. So much for winning. Ku is down for the count. Hyosin is leaning over him, looking totally shocked. You? What on earth happened to you? The overhead shot tells the whole story, folks. Our boy is completely knocked out in the middle of the ring. Just then, Director Hayo bursts through the door looking like he's seen a ghost. He sees Ku on the floor, and his eyes practically pop out of his head. Ku is crying now, telling Sman he thinks he has absolutely no talent for this. Hearing this, Director Heather is flabbergasted. He charges the ring like a bull, tossing Salmon away like she weighs nothing. Smooth. Turns out his opponent was the infamous Dunin Dong Iron Fist, a guy so tough he was almost scouted by gangsters. She gently cleans up his nose, asking how he got so beat up even while wearing headgear. She lightly scolds him for not keeping his guard up, and the close proximity makes our boy blush like crazy. Meanwhile, Director Hayo is in the background making up wild excuses about the other guy being related to Pacquiao. Suddenly, Summit's eyes narrow in on his feet. You wore these for sparring? Ku is confused. Yeah. Sman points out that's why he slipped and messed up his knee. And that's when it clicks for Director Hayo. The light bulb finally goes on over his head. That's it, Kiju. This was your problem. He yells that footwork is crucial and asks why on earth he's wearing running shoes. Ku looks completely lost. Boxing shoes. Salman has to explain that every sport has its own gear. Her dad snaps his fingers. Right? If your lower body is unstable, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Sin closes the first aid kit. Anyway, if you want to keep boxing, you should probably buy some boxing shoes. She then offers to help him pick some out, and Ku's face turns into a tomato. NASA could probably detect that blush from orbit. His mind immediately jumps to a fantasy date. Shopping, coffee, the whole 9 yards. Dude, chill. Sman snaps him back to reality, telling him to think it over. Ku panics and asks when they can go. But before she can answer, Director Hayo slaps a hand on Ku's shoulder with a giant grin. No need to go far. He whips out a flyer full of boxing shoes. You can choose from here. It's much cheaper. Oh boy, here we go. Ku tries to squirm out of it, saying he already promised to go shopping with Sman. Of course. The director booms. Some will choose for you right here. What do you think, honey? S leans in and points one out. H, isn't this one better? She notes. The price is great. Only 99,001. They'd probably be 150,000 in stores. But then something hits Ku. He's seen those exact same shoes for only 68,001. He clenches his fists. That's Snake. Director Hayo is totally ripping him off. Sometime later, back at the gym, Ku is trying out his new overpriced shoes, practicing his footwork. Director Hayo asks how they feel. It's definitely different, right? He says all smug. Ku has to admit they do feel different. He feels way more stable. His attention is then drawn to the ring where Sun is getting ready to spar. Her dad proudly tells Kiju to watch carefully, bragging about her natural athletic ability. Kiju sees her opponent as a guy, and he's got this super cocky smirk on his face. The guy is already showboating. I can't hit girls. Famous last words, buddy. Ku is just glaring from the sidelines. This dude is seriously underestimating her. The bell rings, the match begins, and they touch gloves. It's on. Ku clenches his fists, his eyes burning with intensity as he cheers her on. So men fighting. The match starts, and her opponent immediately lands a clean jab right on her. Oof. She stumbles back from the hit, but her expression is pure, unyielding determination. She doesn't back down for a second. She dodges and drives a powerful body shot right into his ribs. Then he just explodes with a furious barrage of punches, completely overwhelming Salmon. All she can do is cover up as he hammers away at her guard, giving her no room to breathe. Ku watches from the side, nervously biting his thumb. Is it impossible to overcome that kind of strength difference? But Director Hayo tells him not to worry. He says it's time for Ku to learn this next technique, too. Ku is confused. A technique? The director calls it the ultimate finishing move. Now I'm interested. Inside the ring, Salmon's opponent has had enough. Let's end this. He roars, but Salmon's gaze is perfectly calm and focused. It's like she was waiting for this exact moment. Director Hayo and LT, Unk and GT's eyes seem to glow with intensity. He's thinking now's the time. Inside the ring, her opponent charges, throwing everything he has into a massive right hook. But the guy is completely floored. Salmon just sways back, dodging it by a hair's breadth. And before he can even blink, a flash of red leather comes flying right back at him. Bam! The counter sends him sailing across the canvas. That looked like it hurt. Watching from ringside, Kiju's jaw is on the floor. He cannot believe what he just saw. But Director Hayo, it looks like he knew it all along. What a show-off. And the winner standing over the dude she just sent to Dreamland is Hayo Summon. She just pulls off her headgear and lets out a little sigh. It's just another day for her. Director Hayo just shakes his head. I told you to go easy on him, he says. Then he turns to Ku. That's the finishing move you need to master. Ku is still trying to process it. What? Director, what even was that? He replays in his head. For a second, it looked like Salmon just teleported. And then came that absolutely brutal lightning, fast counterpunch. Curious, the director asks with a grin. Want me to teach you? Ku just nods like a bobblehead. Yes, please. And so the lesson begins. The secret, he says, is all in the step. When your opponent's punch is coming, you slip back just enough to make the miss. The opponent is left totally confused, his fist hitting nothing but air. And the moment they're overextended, you step back in and deliver a massive counter. It's a guaranteed one-hit knockout. Simple but deadly. Suddenly, it all clicks for Kiju. The light bulb goes off. He remembers his own fight. He threw a punch and thought he'd landed it first. But his opponent had slipped back just enough, taking all the power out of the hit. And then Kiju thinks, recalling the painful result, I was the only one who got hit because his opponent used that exact same move to knock him out cold. The director summarizes, basically, your opponent slipped back then banged you. Get it? Ku clenches his fist, eyes burning with a new fire. Teach me. I need to learn that move. The director gets a serious look. All right then. Hardcore training starts now. Kiju screams, yes. Then the director just tells him to keep working out and walks off. Ku calls out, wait. Hayo turns back all confused. What's the move called? Ku asks. The director points dramatically. It is called slip bang. Ku is not impressed. Slip bang? Is there a real name for it? The director looks completely lost. A real name? He says. Nah, slip bang is just slip bang. My man is a genius at naming things. And with that incredibly creative name, Kiju begins his special training. He grinds out the footwork over and over. First a slip back, then the explosive dash forward. He roars as he unleashes the powerful counterpunch. Okay, that's it for today. The director yells. He tells Kiju that after a month of this, he's definitely got the move down. Ku is completely drenched in sweat, but thanks coach. There's only 3 days left until his big match. Hayo tells him to just focus on his condition. Ku agrees and heads for a much-needed shower while the director grinds on his mobile game. The cool water washes over Ku's now seriously ripped physique. The training paid off. Meanwhile, Sman tells her dad, who's still glued to his game, that she's going to clean the shower room. Back in the locker room, Ku gets dressed, pulling on his sweats. He's just casually drying his hair with a towel, humming a tune. Suddenly, the locker room door swings wide open. Oh, and who walks in? S, of course. She freezes, completely shocked to see our boy shirtless. And Ku, the absolute genius, strikes a pose like he's in a commercial. Bro's charisma is doing all the heavy lifting. The two of them just stand there staring at each other in the most awkward silence ever. Someone finally breaks, blushing and annoyed. Just hurry up, she says. She slams the door shut, leaving Ku standing there completely bewildered. His face turns bright red as he realizes what just happened. So embarrassing. But outside, Sman is leaning against the wall, blushing hard. When did he get so she thinks? Her dad snaps her out of it after losing his game. Ah, man, I'm dead. Huh? What are you just standing there for? He asks, noticing his zoned-out daughter. Still flustered and now super annoyed, Salmon just stands there fuming. She screams that she doesn't know and he can clean it himself, then chucks the cleaning supplies at him. Later that night, Kiju and Salmon are walking home together under the full moon. Ku realizes they've been walking home together a lot since he started training so hard, and you can cut the awkward tension between them with a knife. Salmon finally speaks up, trying to talk about what she saw earlier, specifically his body. But Ku has something to say too. They got shy, not knowing who to talk first. Ku is now blushing and scratching his neck. What a dork. He stammers for her to talk first, and she clarifies she just meant he needs to take care of himself. Ku agrees, then quickly changes the subject, saying the shoes she got him are great. Really? That's good, she says. And we're right back to the awkward silence. These two are hopeless. Suddenly, a loud cheer comes from some guys at an arcade punching machine. One of them hit a new record. They look over and recognize them. Oh great, it's Kung T's gang. Kung himself turns and spots them. He immediately recognizes Kiju. Sman gives him a weary look while Ku just gives him a friendly wave. He's too nice. Kung gets right in their faces, asking if they're on a date. Ku gets all nervous, saying it's more than a date, making it even more awkward. Kei gets a sly grin. Should we test it out? He asks. His buddy agrees, saying his record is unbeatable anyway. So confident, Kei turns to Ku and points at the machine. Hey, want to get a shot? Ku tries to get out of it, saying he's never tried one before, but the bully doesn't care, grabbing Ku's shoulder and dragging him over. The whole gang surrounds him, telling Ku he'd set a new high score. They start setting up a challenge. If Kiju can't beat the record, Kim wins. And of course, they want to make a bet on it. The stakes. The loser has to be their bread shuttle for a month. A lunch gopher. Wow. This man has had enough of this nonsense and tells them to stop. But Ku is just staring down the machine, a determined look on his face. I've never tried, he thinks. You can see his quiet resolve on his face. Should I try it? This sounds fun. Our boy Ku squares up to the punch machine. The guys, of course, immediately start clowning on him. Just listen to them. Is he really going to hit it with that form? My man, your stance looks like a newborn deer trying to walk. They're already joking that if he breaks his wrist, it's his own darn problem. What great group of pals. Salmon, being the only person who's thinking here, warns him about getting hurt right before his big match. Thank you, Smon, for your service to logic and survival. But Kung Tae just scoffs. He says if Kiju's wrist is that weak, he has no business being in a match anyway. What a supportive dude. Kiju just tunes out the haters, focusing on his technique. He pictures the target as his opponent's face. Okay, a little psycho, but I guess that's the spirit. He lets it rip with a straight right and whack, a solid, clean hit right on the money. The score flickers and lands on a measly 450. Ouch. That is just sad, my friend. Q does a full-on spit take, and the whole crew absolutely loses it. They are howling with laughter. One of them taunts him asking if he's going easy on purpose. He says he's already looking forward to his free bread delivery. Someone finally snaps, asking why they're all jumping in when the bet was just with Kim. Good question. He just gives her a greasy smile. Don't worry about it. Just include us in the fun. Then it gets even creepier, or you could help Ku out. Do back off. Seriously. Salmon tells them to take it easy, but they just laugh and say it's all part of the bet. These guys are the worst, but Ku ignores them. A light bulb goes off in his head. Wait, can I practice slip bang on this thing? As the punching bag resets, his eyes narrow. You got an idea, folks. The comeback arc is loading. He imagines it just like in practice. An opponent's fist flying right for his face. He slips to the side, dodging the phantom punch and winding up for a massive counter. Boom! He unleashes the full power of the slip bang, and his fist absolutely demolishes the machine. The impact sends out a literal shockwave. Everyone around them just stops and stares completely stunned. The machine actually starts smoking as the score goes haywire, flying past 900. The machine dings. Congratulations. You set a new record. Ku just looks at his hand like, oh, so that actually worked. The bully's jaws are on the floor. Someone asks if his wrist is okay. Ku just grins and flexes his hand. Yeah, it's fine. Did I really set a new record? Yes, you did, my psycho friend. Yes, you did. Kim's little sidekick starts panicking, but Kim just hisses at him to shut up. The panic is real. He tries to backtrack nervously, saying it was just a joke between friends. Oh, now it's a joke. But Salmon cuts him right off. Don't forget the bread, too. By the way, I eat 2 pieces minimum. Savage. Kim is sweating now. She pats his shoulder with zero sympathy. If it's too hard, I'm sure your friends can help you. The ultimate power move. Then she grabs Kiju's hand and just says, let's go, Kiju. Queen behavior right there. Our boy Ku, looking totally flustered, just lets himself get dragged away, leaving the humiliated bullies in his dust. And just like that, the day of the 10th Sports Boxing Championship arrives. Inside, the whole place is buzzing with energy. Boxers are warming up everywhere you look. But over in the athlete's dressing room, we've got a problem. A big one. Director Hayo is pacing like a caged animal, while Sman frantically tries to call Kiju. The director is annoyed now. That punk Kiju. Is he seriously not answering his phone? Salmon confirms it. She keeps calling, but it just rings and rings. Not a good sign, folks. The coach is having a full-blown meltdown. Geez, what is that kid doing on the most important day? Suddenly, the door flies open and a tournament official steps in looking very serious. Director Hayo immediately puts on a fake smile, trying to assure the guy that Ku is totally on his way. The official is not buying it for a second. He checks his watch. Oh no, what happens if he's a no-show? The coach insists Kiju isn't the type to flake, but the official isn't here to play games. If he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, he says he's disqualified. And with that, he's gone. The door slams shut, and the director's panic mode is back online. Still not answering, he roars. Salmon just stares at her phone, worried sick. Did something happen to him? Meanwhile, Ku's phone is buzzing away in his gym bag, completely ignored. Classic. Our boy is sweating now, scrambling in a car in the middle of the street. And why? Because he's stuck in a massive traffic jam, caused by some kind of protest. You can't make this stuff up. He's desperately begging the taxi driver to go faster. My dude, where's he supposed to go? The driver is like, kid, look around. You think I enjoy sitting here? The road's a parking lot. Ku glances at the clock. It's 2:49. He thinks I have to be there by 3 o'clock. The driver tells him it's impossible. With 3 kilometers left, his best bet is to just run for it. So what does our hero do? He bolts out of the cab without a second thought. Keep the change. His feet hit the pavement and he is gone. breaking into an all-out sprint. Look at him go. He's running like his life depends on it. Pure determination on his face. He's in full-on parkour mode, vaulting over walls and anything else in his way without even slowing down. He's literally flying through the air, pushing himself to the absolute limit. He thinks, I can make it. He knows that all that insane training he did is about to pay off right here, right now. Lee Kijiju becomes a blur of motion, a human missile tearing down the empty city streets. And then just as the final seconds are ticking away, the waiting room door bursts open with a massive slam. Director Hayao whips his head around startled. Kiju's man, who is literally about to redial, looks over just as shocked as he is. He made it. But hold on. Just seconds before that heroic entrance, a very angry official was laying down the law with Director Hayao and Salmon. They're sweating bullets, trying their best to stall for time. But this guy is not having it. He is the kind of disappointment your dad has when he sees your report card. That's it. He's had enough. Ku is going to be forfeited. Director Hayao desperately tries to stop him. But then a blur of motion barrels down the hallway at ludicrous speed. Everyone whips around, wondering what that sound was. Is it a bird? A plane? Nope. It's our boy Kiju running for his life like he's about to miss the last bus home. Director Hayao's face lights up. The cavalry has arrived. About time someone showed up. But in true Kiju fashion, his foot immediately betrays him on the polished floor. Oh no! He completely loses his balance, his face contorting in a beautiful, painful grimace like he's auditioning for Pain Olympics. And down he goes, our hero, ladies and gentlemen. So majestic. He slides across the floor and comes to a dead stop face down right at the official's shoes. The official just stares down at him, probably wondering if he just witnessed a murder. But Director Hayao rushes over, grabs Ku by the hoodie, and starts celebrating like they just won. Salmon and the official are not impressed. I mean, the kid looks like a wet noodle right now. But then Ku sweats even more. The coach declares, of course, he can do it. The official is completely stunned. He says, then get ready. Director Hayao grabs him, yelling that there's no time to waste, but he stops dead when he sees Kiju's face turning a lovely shade of purple. They start freaking out, yelling for a bucket. Our boy is about to redecorate the hallway. Somehow they make it inside the massive arena where Director Hayao gives Kiju a final pep talk. He's giving him the classic coach speech. Remember your training? You worked harder than anyone. Salman is nodding along all serious. He finishes with a powerful, I believe in you. And Ku, my guy looks completely dead inside, probably wondering why anyone would trust him right now. Well, too late now. The ref calls for the fighters. It's showtime. As the crowd cheers, Kiju and his opponent make their way to the ring. The director gives some last-minute advice. Your opponent is an in-fighter. Hit and run. Got it. Ku just sweats and manages a weak yes. He looks ready for a nap, not a fight. He steps into the ring, and his legs are already trembling. This is not a good sign, folks. The coach thinks it will be an easy win for the opponent. This is just like a humiliation ritual. From the sidelines, the team is worried now. Simon knows his lower body is completely shot from that sprint. The referee calls them to the center for the final instructions. As the ref talks, the director mutters to himself, maybe I should have just let the kid be late. Ouch! But Salmon just stares forward with a determined look and says, begin. The bell rings. The referee screams, box, and the fight is on. The small crowd roars to life, and some guy in the back yells that he bet on the blue corner. Good luck with that, pal. The two fighters begin to move around each other in the ring. Kiju is still trying to catch his breath. Is he just a walking corpse now? And then the opponent just unleashes a furious combo, like he has a personal vendetta against our boy Kiju. Director Hayao is having a heart attack on the sidelines, screaming at him to move around. But Ku just can't keep up. Everything is a blur, and his gloves feel like they weigh a ton. The pressure of his first match, the insane exhaustion from his sprint, it's all crashing down on him at once. My dude is just too tired. His stats have been nerfed to the ground. His guard begins to drop, leaving his face wide open. This is bad. Really bad. The opponent's eyes narrow. He sees the opening and thinks, it's over. He winds up about to deliver the final devastating blow. Just then, Salmon's voice cuts through the noise, screaming, snap out of it, Kiju. She screams his name like it's the last functioning brain cell. In that instant, everything freezes. Kiju's eyes snap open, the exhaustion replaced by pure focus. A flashback. He remembers the director's training. Listen carefully, Kiju. When a counter is coming, slip back exactly one fist width. The muscle memory kicks in. Back in the present, Kijiju's body reacts on pure instinct. He shifts back just as the punch whizzes past his face. This is it. The perfect timing to unleash his secret weapon, the slip bang. He digs his foot into the canvas and puts every last ounce of his strength into the punch. The crowd goes silent. Director Hayo and Salmon are watching, their jaws on the floor. The director can't even bear to watch. He covers his face, probably praying this works. This is now a problem for whatever higher power is listening. From the opponent's view, Kiju's glove is a blue blur rushing toward him. He's totally shocked, but Kiju realizes something is wrong. His punch is short, exactly one fist width short. He swings hard. The opponent dodges like this is light cardio. His last words are basically, "That scared me," right before the punch connects with a sickening crunch. Oh no, it's a perfect hit. Ku stumbles back as the entire crowd loses their minds. Director Hayo watches with a dead serious expression. He knows it's not over yet. Boom! The opponent's uppercut sends Kiju flying. He's literally skidding across the canvas like this is suddenly ice hockey. On the sidelines, Director Hayo is face-palming. Salmon is worried. And yep, there it is. Ku catches himself on the ropes, stopping his fall just in time. Our boy is not giving up just yet. The opponent turns around with a smug grin. He's literally asking if that was a lucky shot, and he can't believe it. Ku didn't even fall down. He rushes in and throws a massive hook. Meanwhile, in the hallways, a new crew is rolling in. You could just tell these guys are trouble. It's Choi Wong-yu and his goons. And of course, they're already trash-talking our boy Ku. His buddies are still arguing about being the bread shuttle. Remember that? After losing the punch machine bet, Wong-yu just smirks. He remembers that little incident quite well, doesn't he? Ku even broke Q's record. Even so, King Tae is not exactly weak. The whole squad finally makes it to the stands just in time to watch the show, but Wong-yu couldn't quite believe something. His friend is losing his mind. Kim Tae is asking what? That loser actually knows how to box. Although back in the ring, Ku is getting absolutely wrecked. He is completely outmatched right now. Ku tries to keep up. He cannot. He's just getting pummeled. A non-stop flurry of punches is backing him closer into the corner. Director Hayo is screaming from the sidelines. Don't get pushed into the corner. Get out of there. Ku tries to pivot, but his foot slips on a puddle of sweat. Ku is on his opponent in a second, grabbing him in a clinch. The guy looks so annoyed. The ref has to dive in and pull them apart. Stop. Stop. Look at Kiju. My man is running on fumes. He can barely even stand up straight. The ref gives the signal to continue the fight. He claps his hands and yells box. And immediately Kiju gets rocked with another brutal combo. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits right to the face. Salmon tells her dad to throw in the towel. She thinks Kiju is finished. But Director Hayo isn't giving up. We don't know yet, he says. He says something wild. Maybe that kid was born with luck. Okay, get ready for this, folks. The director explains that a drunk person gets hurt less in a car accident. Apparently, it's because their bodies are relaxed. They don't tense up, so they absorb the impact better. And right now, Hiju is so out of it, he might as well be drunk. Admit it, the logic is amazing. He's literally moving on pure instinct. My guy has entered zombie mode. His eyes are glowing. His opponent is completely confused. He's like, what the heck? Is this guy a zombie? But inside Kiju's scrambled brain, there's only one thought. I have to win this to impress Sin, of course. And with that one thought, his body just moves. He instinctively ducks right under a massive punch. Director Hayo explains that dodging should be fluid like water. And Ku is now the whole ocean. His total exhaustion is actually giving him perfect form. This is the ultimate beginner's luck. Sun hears this, and you can see the gears turning. She's thinking, that makes sense. Even Wong-yu and his buddies are starting to look concerned. Their smug faces are gone. Ku throws another punch, but it's short again. He's just too tired to put any power into it. The slip bang, the super secret ultimate move, is not working. He literally grabs his head and screams, I'm screwed. Yeah, you think self-awareness finally logged in. The opponent sees his chance and charges in for the final blow. Kiju dodges and stumbles back. His balance is gone. He's trying so hard to recover, but it's no use. His legs just buckle. It's over. But wait, as he's falling forward on pure instinct, he throws one last desperate uppercut. It connects. A perfect counter uppercut right on the chin. Bam! The other guy is launched into the air. He's completely out cold before he even hits the mat. Kiju is just frozen there, his fist still extended. He used every last bit of his energy on that one punch. The entire arena goes silent. Wongju and his friends are just staring, not believing what they are seeing. The crowd, the ref, everyone is just speechless. Nobody can believe what they just saw. Salmon is in total shock, her hands covering her mouth. Impossible. The referee finally snaps out of it and dives to the mat, yelling down. And the entire stadium just explodes. The roar is absolutely deafening. Nobody's hearing anything for the next hour. Even Director Hayo is on his feet. Absolute triumph. Back in the ring, Kiju is slowly realizing what happened. His ultimate move, the slip bang. It actually worked. He throws his arms up, celebrating this insane, unbelievable victory. Up in the stands, Wang Yu's friends are totally confused. What just happened? Did Ku actually win? But Wang Yu just calmly says, good for him. His friends have no idea what to think. He actually smiles and says, I was worried he wouldn't even get a chance to strike back. And the Jumbotron makes it official. A first-round KO victory for our boy Lee Kiju. Director Hayo rushes into the ring and grabs Ku in a massive hug, crying, Ki, I knew you could do it. Despite his state, Kiju manages this huge, happy grin. But his celebration gets cut short. He spots someone familiar up in the crowd. He knows him instantly. It's the guy he sparred with right before the tournament. The spiky-haired fighter, the Dunin Dong Iron Fist. A silent challenge is definitely being thrown down. The moment is broken by the announcer. The next match is Gang Du versus Crow Wang Yu. And the spiky-haired fighter, Django, gives us one last intense look before his match. The announcer doesn't even let the ring cool down. He's already calling up the next fighters for the final match of this block. Up in the stands, Wang's buddies are acting all high and mighty. One asks if he'll win, and the other just scoffs like it's the dumbest question he's ever heard. They start screaming from the cheap seats, telling him to end it in one shot. As Wang Yu makes his way to the ring. Total supportive friend energy, right? Wang Yu just glances back, probably thinking about how he's going to find new friends after this tournament. Then Kung spots the competition making his entrance. He's like, oh, the other guy's coming out too. And just like that, all their confidence evaporates. Oh, that guy looks pretty strong too. Yeah, no kidding. It's Gang Daku, the Dunin Dong Iron Fist himself, getting a last-minute strategy session from his coach. Wang Yu stares across the ring, trying to size up the guy. The Dunin Dong Iron Fist warms himself up with a few practice shots, and the sound of his gloves hitting the air echoes like a warning. He raises his guard, and you can't tell what he's thinking at all, but Wang Yu just smirks. He looks like he's actually excited for a real challenge. Famous last words, buddy. The ref signals both fighters to the center of the ring. It's time to get this show on the road. The crowd erupts. The final match to decide who faces Kiju is finally about to begin. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. You can practically hear people sweating, but Wang Yu looks almost bored. He's thinking, the guy I really want to have fun with is someone else. He means Ku. He has no idea what's coming. The audience couldn't wait for the match to start. Meanwhile, back in the locker room, Director Hayo drops a bombshell. He asks, why don't you forfeit? Salmon is completely floored. Forfeit? What are you even talking about right now? Director Hayo says, it's a shame, but getting this far is amazing enough. He gestures to Ku, who's basically a puddle in a chair. Does he look okay to you? He asks. Fair point. He does look pretty rough. Director Hayo explains that if Kiju stops now, he can walk away with glory and without any serious injuries. He can quit and still look cool somehow. Sun repeats his words, glory without injury. She's not buying what her dad is selling. And then we see his real motive. Hayo points out that even if Kiju forfeits, he automatically gets second place. This guy Salmon crosses her arms unimpressed. She asks, was that what you were aiming for this whole time? Director Hayo is already lost in a daydream saying, finally, our gym's first certificate of the year. He's literally surrounded by hearts. He's basically in a rom-com montage alone. He snaps back to reality and admits Kiju got lucky. He thinks it's better to quit now before he gets traumatized in his first real finals. Director Hayo thinks to himself that Ku definitely has some serious plot armor. But then another thought hits him. He remembers Kiju's fight. The way he moved, instinctively dodging and countering even when he was totally gassed. He flashes back to that look in Ku's eyes. It was a weird, almost primal focus, something he's never seen before, but he just shakes his head, dismissing it. No way. That can't be it. Oh, but it is, my friend. It is. Just then, a voice cuts through the room. It's Kiju, director, he calls out. He looks up, sweat pouring down his face, but his eyes are blazing. I'm not forfeiting. I'm doing the finals, he tells them. Salman and director Ho just stare at each other. Director Hayo tries to talk him out of it, saying it's his first match and he doesn't need to push himself this hard. The translation, don't embarrass yourself too much. Suddenly, Ku shoots to his feet. The sudden movement makes the director jump back. Vo! He just starts walking away. The director asks him, where are you going to watch the match? Ku says without even turning around, it's still going on, right? Director Hayo is totally lost. He stammers, well, yeah, the first round just started. Ku doesn't break stride. He'll go watch and come back. And with that, he's out the door, leaving them speechless. Out in the arena, the ref's count is already at 5, 6, 7. Things escalated quickly. Ku arrives just in time to see the official jotting down notes. Our boy looks totally shocked. What in the world happened here? The count keeps going. 8, 9, 10. The bell rings. That's it. It's all over. The crowd is going nuts. It's another knockout, and they can't believe how fast it was. A total one-sided beatdown. Gong Du-gu. The Dunedong Iron Fist has won the match. Wang Yu is out cold on a mat. His coach comes over and says, "Kid, easy on him. Why do you have to go that far?" Daegu just stares straight ahead with zero emotion. Turns out he just didn't like Wang Yu. That's it. That's the entire reason. His coach just sighs, tells him, "Good job," and hands him a water bottle. What else can you even say to that? But as he takes a drink, he spots someone in the crowd watching him. It's Ku standing right at the entrance to the arena floor, having seen the whole thing. Ayu's coach is rambling on about his next opponent, but Dayu isn't listening anymore. He's on a mission. He walks straight for Kiju, who nervously gulps. "Yeah, I'd be nervous too, my friend." They stand face to face, and the air crackles between them. Do speaks first. "We'll face off again, looking forward to it." Ku's heart is pounding out of his chest as his next opponent just turns and walks away like nothing happened. Salmon finally runs up, having seen the dramatic exit. Huh? What? Is it over already? She missed the whole show. She's completely confused about why Kiju is acting so strange all of a sudden. Ku clenches his fists. That little challenge lit a fire under him. The protagonist power-up has been activated. Summon puts a hand on his back, trying to be supportive. She tells him, "You don't need to push yourself." She looks at him with genuine concern in her eyes. "That's enough already," she pleads. But Ku's mind is made up. His eyes are shining with pure resolve. "I'll do it. The finals. I want to," he declares. He's gone full shonen protagonist on us, folks. Salmon can't believe what she's hearing. She's like, "Why are you suddenly getting that determined look?" But our boy doesn't need to say a word. His expression says it all. He's ready. Bro is locked in. And just like that, it's time for the final match. The crowd is roaring, hungry for another knockout. Anyway, as the bell rings, let's just get philosophical a bit, shall we? When you get down to it, what is fighting really about? Ku realizes hitting and getting hit isn't all that different from the miserable life he's lived so far. But this place, it's different. It's unusually bright under these arena lights. It's filled with a hot, intense energy he's never felt before. He glances over and sees Salmon watching from the corner. He raises his guard, wondering what makes this different from all the other fights he's been in. Isn't it all just fighting miserably in the end? He thinks, remembering the defeated look on Wang Yu and LT, Unk and GT's face. His knocked-out look is like a cursed reaction image he can't delete. But as he stomps forward, a tremor runs through him. And, strangely, this trembling feeling, it doesn't feel bad at all. With a smirk on his face, he launches himself forward, throwing the very first punch of the final showdown. Let's go. The punch connects and wait, hold on. The artist is showing us the outside of the stadium now. Okay, Fina. We're at the 10th Amateur Boxing Championship. Folks, let's get back to the action, please. In the crowd, Wang Yu's buddies are sweating bullets. But Salmon, she's got that ice-cold glare, looking completely unfazed. All right, back in the ring. Our boy Ku is in blue trading shots with Gang Daioku in red. And it looks like Kiju is already on the ropes. He's totally gassed. His legs are wobbling like a newborn deer. His opponent, on the other hand, the dude looks like he just woke up from a refreshing nap. Not a single drop of sweat. Ku is practically drowning in his own perspiration here. The pressure is on, and he is not handling it well. Then suddenly the opponent moves forward. Our boy Ku ducks. Somehow the punch doesn't connect. Still, Kiju's defense totally shattered. Yogu sees the opening and follows up with another brutal shot right to the face, and Kiju is down. He hits the canvas hard. In the audience, Director Hayo is having a full-on meltdown. The ref immediately starts the count as Kiju lies there like a discarded rag doll. This does not look good. But as he's lying there getting intimately familiar with the floor, you can see the gears turning in his head. He's thinking that this fight is completely different. Yeah, no kidding. Genius. He realizes that against this guy, there isn't a single opening. He's got his defenses on lockdown. It's like he's fighting a final boss from a video game. A dude in full plate armor just tanking every hit. Up in the stands, Wang Yu's friends have already given up on him. They're like, even our boy Wang Yu lost. This dude Ku is toast. At a quick glance at Wang Yu explains why they're so sure. Artist, you did him dirty. His face is a swollen mess. Wang Yu grumbles that it's over. His buddy helpfully points out that Kiju won't get up just like he didn't. Ouch. And the crowd goes absolutely nuts. Everyone is on their feet, stunned by the sudden comeback. The coaches cannot believe their eyes. Jaws are on the floor. Cho Wang Yu and his crew are completely speechless. One of them just goes, "What?" Sun watches with wide, hopeful eyes. Her fists are clenched tight in support of our boy. She's mentally spamming, "You got this." Hiju, panting and covered in bruises, realizes it himself. It connected for sure this time. A massive, goofy grin spreads across his face. He actually thinks to himself, "I got it." "Oh, you sweet summer child." His celebration lasts for about 0.5 seconds before bam, a red glove just deletes his face. Turns out Doug was completely unfazed by the uppercut. He sends Kiju flying back with a vicious counter. Ku crashes hard onto the mat. You can practically feel the wind getting knocked out of him. His mind is a total blank. He has absolutely no idea what just happened. He landed his ultimate move, his big finisher. But now what's he supposed to do? Salmon and director Hayo watch with pure dread. In the crowd, people are getting worried. They're like, that's the second down, right? Is he going to get seriously hurt? Wongu and his buddies, however, are loving this. I knew this would happen. Cum looks. Director Hayo thinks this is way too much for Ku and grabs the towel, ready to forfeit. But suddenly, a hand grabs his arm and stops him cold. Of course it's Salmon. "Dad," she says with total confidence. "Don't you know, Kiju? He'll get up." Down on the mat, Kiju pushes himself onto one knee, shaking violently. He staggers back to his feet. My man can barely even stand. The audience are in disbelief. One of them just mutters, "He got up." Even Wong Yu and LT, Unk and GT. S crew is shocked into silence. One of them calling him crazy, which, yeah, that's fair. The boy in red just looks on that little bandage on his cheek, not moving an inch. His expression is totally unreadable. The referee steps in, asking Ku if he can even continue fighting. And with every last bit of strength he has, Kiju screams, "Yes, I can do it." His stats, self-belief at 100%, stamina at 3%. Even Dio looks a little startled by this dude's sheer refusal to get knocked out. Back in his corner, the opponent's coach is absolutely furious. He's yelling, "What are you doing? Finish it." Dio just clicks his tongue in annoyance and steps right back into the ring. He's so over this. Kiju braces for the incoming attack, grunting with the effort of just standing. RMC comes in fast, throwing a jab that Do dodges. Easy peasy. Gang Dogu slams a brutal punch straight into Ku's stomach. That hit rewired his internal organs. Ku just coughs up spit. The force of that blow is absolutely crippling. He collapses to his knees, retching in pure agony. That had to hurt. All he can think is, it hurts. It hurts so much. Yeah, no kidding, Buddy. His sweat has already tapped out. Then a voice echoes in his mind asking, "Why are you going this far?" It's Salmon. He remembers telling her for the first time in my life, "I feel like I'm resisting." He flashes back to his old life, where he was constantly getting beaten up and pushed around by everyone. Ah, yes, the premium trauma recap package. But now the ring gives him a newfound purpose. He thinks, I don't want to go back to being nothing again because in that ring, everyone is equal. It's the ultimate anime power-up speech. With a guttural gasp, he forces himself to stand up one more time, his whole body trembling. The old Kiju would have given up ages ago, but this new guy is different. In this ring, he's going to hold on and never give up. That's who he is now. Salmon is just as determined as Kiju is. She's his biggest fangirl at this point. Director Hayo can only stare, muttering Kiju's name in total awe. He created a monster. The crowd is absolutely losing their minds. He got up again. Now I want to stop him. Once again, the gang couldn't believe their eyes. Duga stares down at Kiju, a shadow crossing his face. Got up again? He asks. He admits. It was fun at first, but now it's getting annoying. Oh boy, his boss music is starting to play. Done holding back, Dayu charges forward with explosive, terrifying speed. Despite all his resolve, Kiju is no match for this raw power. He gets absolutely rocked by a hard right hook. Kiju winds up a blow, but Duga manages to weave right under it. The two exchange a furious volley of punches, trading brutal body shots in the center of the ring. Seeing the absolute beatdown unfolding, director Hogra Maces sweating with worry. Dooku's coach, on the other hand, watches with a calm, stoic expression. He has total confidence in his fighter. Back in the ring, Kiju dodges a shot. Great job, man. Doug is surprised at this. Now they're in a tight clinch again, locked down. He leans in close, his expression filled with nothing but pure disdain for our boy. He whispers, "Stop being so pathetic and just give up already, savage." But Kijiju, battered and sweating, shots right back with pure defiance. He tells Daku that if he gives up, he'd be abandoning himself. This is the first time he's ever truly fought back. Just the ending. The bell rings, signaling the end of the round and saving Kiju for now. Director Hayo yells for Kiju to get back to the corner and sit down immediately. Ku stumbles over and just collapses onto the stool, completely spent and gasping for air. The director looks at his battered fighter with concern, telling him it's okay to stop. It's his first match after all, but through gritted teeth, Kiju just says, "I want to do more." He realizes this is different from being bullied. His opponent is seriously trying to knock him down. And for some strange psycho reason, Our boy finds that simple fact exhilarating. For the first time in his life, he feels the pleasure of being taken seriously by someone. This dude is unhinged. Meanwhile, the other coach's face just darkens. Are you joking right now? He asks. In the other corner, Diogu's coach is giving him the same death stare, but Diogu isn't even looking. He's completely zoned in thinking about his opponent. He's replaying what Kiju said, that giving up meant abandoning himself, and that this was the first time he'd ever truly fought for his life. That memory triggers another. His own coach, his own father, asking that chilling question, "Are you joking right now?" And we're thrown into a flashback. A tiny, terrified boy faces his father in the ring as it appears his dad is about to hit him. Oh no! Is it too late to call the CPS? Whack. His father sends him flying with a brutal slap. Our poor boy can only groan on the canvas. Dude, he's a kid. Tears stream down his face as his psycho dad grabs him and twists his arms. He cries out, "Dad, it hurts." No kidding, man. But his father just screams that the real world is way more painful. Sob, the young boy promises he'll practice nonstop. And just like that, the anger vanishes. He kneels and hugs his son. He says, "This is all for his own good. Don't become a loser like me." Guy remembers that was the last time his father ever hugged him. After that, just cold, hard, nonstop training. What great dad. All he ever wanted was his dad's approval. But as he touched gloves with his opponent, he knew that was a high quest. In the ring, he gets absolutely demolished. He takes a merciless beating from the other kid. He's getting cooked, sautéed, and heavily seasoned. The other kid towers over him. Goku knew his dad's ambitions were massive, and he felt way too small to ever live up to them. Poor boy. But his opponent, Jinyuk, offers him a hand. He smiles and says, "Wow, you got really strong. You almost made me nervous." Suddenly, his father's voice roars across the gym. "Get up." Everyone in the room just freezes. Even Jinyuk looks terrified. Do's tears well up in his eyes all over again. His father completely explodes. A man crying. You only cry after a real defeat. Do you even know what that pain feels like? Those words just hang in the air. Shaking from exhaustion, young Do somehow forces himself back to his feet. Jinyuk looks shocked. The father just gives a grim nod. "Continue, Jinyuk." Jinyuk gets ready, but he's clearly hesitant. He's thinking to himself, there's no way Do can take any more of this. Gyugu stands there, fists up, sobbing but ready to fight. Seeing this, Jinyuk shakes his head at the coach, refusing to go on. The dad's eyes flare. "Oh no, I am sorry," Jinyuk shouts. The match continues. The second it's over, Doug collapses. His stamina clocked out the moment the bell rang. His father is just so disappointed. Lying on the mat, Do watches his father turn and walk away, but he learns something that day. Sometime later, a kid walks into the gym. His father greets him with a huge, welcoming smile. And in that moment, Diogu learned a shocking truth. Turns out his dad was physically capable of smiling, just not at him. Fast forward. Do faces Jinyuk again. Jinyuk is thinking he's different. He's not the old Do. The flashback continues. The opponent lands a solid punch right to his headgear, but this time, Dayu is unfazed. In a blur, he pivots on his foot, slipping the next attack with blinding speed. And suddenly, he's behind his opponent. The other boy is just left wondering what? What did he get there? Before Jinyu can even turn, bam! Dayu buries a vicious body shot deep into his ribs. He follows it up instantly. It connects with explosive jaws, shattering force. Thud! The opponent is out cold. He's laid out flat on the mat like a starfish. Night-night. He can barely groan as he fades out. Do just stands over him, panting heavily. Mission complete. The young fighter glances over. He sees his father, the coach, watching him from the ropes with another boxer. His dad glares and asks why he's getting distracted. The look of pure terror on Do's face says it all. He just can't win. His dad's next words would leave a mark on the poor boy. That kid has no talent at all. Crushed, Diogu hangs his head. But on the mat below him, his opponent Jinyuk starts to stir. Jinyuk pushes himself up saying, "You're strong, although I won't give up either." But something changes in Do's face. His eyes flash with red-hot fury. He lunges forward, ready to end this for good. Psycho mode activated. Suddenly, snap. We're back to the present championship match. We have Do aiming for a massive punch as the referee screams, "Down." Director Hayo grits his teeth. The other coach just watches intently. Salmon and the others are floored. The referee starts the count as the entire stadium goes ballistic. 3, 4. Even Wang Yu and LT, Unk and GT, S crew, who were just talking trash, have been stunned into silence. Look at those faces. Sin turns to her dad, completely in shock. "Dad, did you just see that?" Director Hayo just stares, his mind running a mile a minute. "I saw it, and boom, we get the instant replay in his head. Do throws a jab, but Ku pivots perfectly, dodging the hit by a hair's breadth. Do realizes his fatal mistake way too late. His eyes scream, oh no. Ku unleashes an absolute monster of a hook, pouring every last drop of his stamina into this one blow. Crack! The impact is colossal, the sound echoing through the arena as Kiju's glove smashes into Do's jaw. My man is launched clear off his feet, his entire body going airborne. He crashes down onto the mat from the impact. Ouch! His bones briefly reconsider their alignment. Sin still can't believe it. A pivot followed by a hook. Did he even practice that move? Director Hayo says, no, that kid is in a trance right now, just letting his body move on instinct. But even he's struggling to believe it. Still, even if it's instinct, how could he pull that off in his state? Back in the ring, the count continues. 678 Do is actually getting up. He slowly gets to his feet, steam literally rising from his body as he glares across the ring. Ku just stares back, looking completely drained, but somehow still standing. Director Hayo couldn't believe it. This is impossible. Even Wang Yu's swollen face shows pure disbelief. The referee gets in Doug's face. Can you do it? Are you okay to continue? Do doesn't say a word. His eyes just burning with this cold, intense focus. From the sidelines, his coach, who is also his father, watches on. He looks up absolutely disgusted with his son. What kind of disgrace? Dad of the Year award goes to this guy. Back in the ring, something in Do just snaps. A twisted, creepy smile spreads across his face. The referee is completely taken aback, utterly confused by this sudden personality shift. And then Diogu just starts laughing. A wild, unhinged cackle that confuses everyone in the building. Ku can only watch, bewildered. Huh? This man asks, why is he acting like that? The crowd starts murmuring. Wangu and his friends can only ask, is he crazy? Only Dio's father seems to understand what's happening. His face a mask of silent rage. The laughter finally dies down. Ku and Doug stand facing each other in the air thick with tension. Ku is sweating hard as Do finally speaks. Hey, who's going to recognize you for getting this far? Will they even praise you? Ku, battered and bruised with one eye swollen shut, remains silent for a moment. Then a slight smile appears on his face. I do. I recognize myself. Despite looking kind of goofy, his confidence shines through. I'll praise myself. The two opponents just stand there under the bright lights, sharing a strange moment. Digga's expression actually falters for a second. That answer clearly hit a nerve. Suddenly, he says, this is no fun at all, and just turns and walks away, leaving a stunned referee behind. He starts to undo his glove, and the entire arena watches in absolute disbelief. He just tosses his gloves to the side, forfeiting the entire match. What? Kiju stands alone, watching as his opponent simply quits on him. Talk about an anticlimax. The crowd buzzes.